These are the four gentlemen that I have over the age of 16. My audience willingly listened to me inform them about sharks. Thank you guys. Can you go sit down, please? Hello, my name is Desiree, and today I am going to inform you a little bit more specifically to inform people that sharks are not like the movies portray them. They are not rogue. My thesis statement: sharks are one of the most misunderstood and feared creatures underwater, but we shouldn't always believe the movies either. Right, so everybody knows the story about Jaws, a rogue shark that is terrorizing a little island, Amityville. It becomes territorial and starts to prey on human flesh. This is only one of the many movies that are incorrect about sharks. Right? Sharks attacks are rare, and if a person dies, it's usually from blood loss, not being torn to shreds like the movies portray. You're not torn up. Right? So many people are scared of sharks, they kill thousands to millions of them a year. I myself am fascinated by sharks as well as frightened. I'm intrigued, but I would only swim with a certain species of sharks. I feel that my fear, they'll be able to sense it and just won't have good vibes. I'll be honest and say I could swim with maybe hammerheads, lemon sharks, and maybe a nurse shark, never a great white mako or bull shark or tiger. First, we're going to discuss sharks. Second, we're going to discuss shark attacks. And third, we're going to discuss sharks in movies. All right. First off, sharks are perfect creatures. This is what we know about sharks so far. Sharks are perfect creatures and they have no need to evolve. They're strong, they're fast, and they have unique qualities depending on each of their species. Tiger sharks, for example, are the most dangerous in the sea. They can grow up to 550 centimeters, but some are still a little unknown in certain parts. Tiger sharks have an average speed of 2.4 miles per hour, excellent eyesight in dark water. Tiger sharks are also agile hunters. It's really easy for them to just get around and get what they need. Tiger sharks are also known as junk eaters. Or garbage eaters of the sea. They eat junk such as bottles, tin cans, license plates, and when it gets to be too much, they kind of have this thing where they kind of throw it all back up. It's a little gross. It sounds disgusting anyways. But the small tiger sharks or the adolescents eat small fish, birds, and as they grow older, dolphins, other sharks, and even stingrays. Tiger sharks are the most glutinous of all sharks. They'll just keep eating and eating as we discussed, and they also have that little trigger. There have actually been cases of sharks having human remains inside of them. In this specific case, it was a large tiger shark that had eaten a smaller tiger shark that had a body part inside. The sharks themselves did not kill or take this body part from the body itself, but it was interesting to find that in there. Next, we're going to talk about great whites. Great whites are some of the largest sharks and similar to tiger sharks in certain aspects. Great whites can hold their head out of water, first of all. This is true about the Jaws movie. When they portray the shark with its head out and it's seeing everybody around them, this is true. They can do this. And they are actually one of the only species of sharks that can. Great whites can swim up to 43 miles per hour. They eat seals, lions, dolphins. They eat garbage just like the tiger sharks, actually, such as bottles, license plates, tin cans, and so on. Another distinct quality about the tiger sharks, which is really cool, is they have two different colors. Up above, they have this gray tone, and underneath, they have this white tone. So when they are swimming, you look down into the water, you can't really tell because it's so murky and they blend in. It's a camouflage. Up above, it's so white, it looks like the light. Now, we've talked about sharks. We've talked about them themselves. Let's talk about the interaction they have with humans and shark attacks. Shark attacks are rare, as well as people dying from shark attacks. When you see multiple attacks in an area, it's not from just one rogue shark, it's from multiple sharks. It's usually a case of mistaken identity, and to be honest, you're more likely to be hit by lightning than to have a shark attack. And for this reason, millions, hundreds of millions of sharks are killed by fishermen each year for maybe about one person that dies for every 5. It's not fair. Sharks are actually harmless. They Most sharks are actually harmless, let's put it like that. They have a kind of test that they do. They will hit, they will bite, they will release. And this is how they can tell how the fat content is in the bodies. So when they bite a human, they don't think that we're worth expending the energy. We're not fatty enough, such as sea lions, whales, seals, and so on. Sharks are actually scared of humans, from poaching, netting, to finning, which is actually quite horrible. They cut the fins off of the sharks and then they throw them back in the ocean to float to the bottom and die. So they are pretty scared of humans, and the population has actually decreased about 70 to 80% since the 70s, if I'm correct. My statistics are correct. That's quite a bit. Now we've discussed sharks, shark attacks. Let's discuss them in movies. Jaws, first of all. We already know that sharks cannot be rogue, so let's just throw that one out the window. It's just, they won't stay around that area. They might come back to visit the area, but they won't stay around that long unless they, of course, are being territorial, which is something that they do, such as laying their eggs. They're going to become territorial. They are defending their young. Or if they have such as a huge whale around them, that is a good source of food for a while, but they will stray from it and come back. Now, Jaws, we kind of discussed a little bit. Let's get into 48 meters down. This story I find a little unbelievable in general, just because you got two girls that go into a metal cage, a shark cage. It falls down 47 meters down, and they are unable to get to the surface. The girl has actually caught her leg in there, so she's attracted a shark. This shark would not continue to prey on her after the first sister, which has already been killed later on in the movie. If you have not seen it, sorry, spoiler alert, but it would not stick around after that. It would leave and it would not stay in the area, and this one did. This is just, it doesn't seem that aggressive behavior is common for a shark. They don't like us. They're scared. Now let's talk about the shallows. This is an abnormally large mako shark that is terrorizing this young woman. It's already bitten her, and now she is on a rock, and when the tide comes in, she doesn't have very long before the shark can get her. This is a little bit more believable because there is a large whale dead. The carcass is not too far, a couple 100 yards away, and she's not too far from the coast, though, too far from land. So it's kind of a, how is she going to do this? And it is a pretty cool movie, but its main purpose is to strike fear, and that's exactly what it did. Don't believe the movies. All right, we've talked about sharks, shark attacks, and multiple shark films. Sharks are scary and misunderstood creatures. They are feared by most humans, but don't believe the media. In conclusion, sharks are scary, they are misunderstood, but just take precautions when you go swimming because they are not as bad as they seem, but you might get caught at the wrong place, wrong time. Just be aware, and you won't have any reason to blame those beautiful creatures. You are going into unknown territory. You are something unknown in their area. You have to prepare. Thank you.